You've always held a power so profound, you were told it wasn't real. Those moments of perfect timing, a thought that manifests hours later, a problem that grows when you worry, or a solution that appears when you finally let go. Most people dismiss this as coincidence, luck, their imagination. But that explanation is a cage. It keeps you small. What if the truth is the exact opposite? What if your attention isn't just noticing reality, but is actually creating it? This isn't a fantasy. It's the most misunderstood law of quantum physics. It's called the observer effect. And it means nothing in your life is random. Everything, every single experience was invited in by you. You just never knew how you were doing it. By the time we're done, you will. You'll see this moment not as a question, but as the answer you always felt was true. Your key is activated. Let's begin. The unseen key. You've felt it, haven't you? That thought about an old friend, and then their name pops up on your phone, out of the blue. You worry about a problem at work, and suddenly it seems to get bigger, like you fed it with your attention. You get excited about a new possibility, and then opportunities just show up. Almost like magic. Most of the world will tell you this is all just coincidence, random chance, your brain playing tricks on you. But what if they're wrong? What if it's the exact opposite? What if these aren't random accidents, but proof? Proof that you've been holding a key this whole time without knowing how to use it. This isn't a mystery. This is science. It's called the observer effect. Now, if you've heard of it, you probably think it's some boring quantum physics thing. Scientists in a lab watching tiny particles behave weirdly. And yeah, that's where it was discovered. But that's just the kindergarten version. The truth is so much bigger. The real observer effect isn't confined to a laboratory. It's the fundamental hidden mechanism that shapes your entire life, every single moment of it. Your consciousness, your attention, isn't a passive camera just recording reality. It's an active electromagnetic force. Think of it like a spotlight. But this isn't a normal spotlight that just illuminates what's already on stage. This is a quantum spotlight. Wherever you point it, whatever you give your real emotional attention to, you're not just seeing it, you're selecting it. You are pulling it from a field of infinite possibilities into your actual lived experience. That growing sense you have that reality isn't as solid as everyone claims, that's your consciousness waking up to its true job. That strange feeling that your focus has actual weight, that's you sensing the electromagnetic energy of your own attention starting to influence the probability field around you. Those micro-manifestations, thinking of something and it appearing, are not lucky breaks. They are practice runs. They are proof that your ability to create through observation is coming online. Right now, your phone acting weird when you're emotional? Streetlights flickering as you walk under them deep in thought? That's not a glitch in the matrix. That's your consciousness, your energy field, beginning to interact with the electronic world because you're generating a more powerful signal. You've been feeling like you're going crazy, but you're not. You're becoming conscious. The key wasn't something you needed to find. It was something inside you that finally activated. And this key doesn't just unlock a new understanding of the world. It unlocks you. It explains everything. Why your worst fears sometimes came true, and why your brightest hopes sometimes manifested out of nowhere. You were never at the mercy of luck. You were always the creator. You just didn't have the instructions. And the biggest secret of all? This isn't a new power you have to learn. You've been using it perfectly your entire life. The only difference now is that you're about to become aware of it. The accidental creator. So, if you've always had this key, this power of observation that creates reality, then there's a pretty obvious and maybe painful question. Why isn't your life perfect? If you've been the creator this whole time, why did you ever create struggle, or lack, or heartbreak? Why did you ever manifest things you didn't want? This is the moment where most people get stuck. They blame the universe. They blame luck. They decide the whole idea is broken. But what if I told you that's the oldest trick in the book? The ultimate misdirection. You haven't been failing to create. You've been creating perfectly. The problem wasn't your power. The problem was your focus. Remember that quantum spotlight we talked about? For your entire life, you've been holding that incredibly powerful beam, but you were never taught how to aim it. So you aimed it at whatever was loudest, whatever was scariest, whatever hurt the most. Think about it. What do we do when we have a problem? We obsess over it. We replay arguments in our heads on a loop. We lay awake at night running through every worst-case scenario, feeling the fear and anxiety as if it's happening right now. You thought you were solving a problem by analyzing it, but you weren't just analyzing. You were observing. You were shining that gigantic, powerful spotlight directly onto the problem, with intense emotional engagement. And the universe, the quantum field, doesn't judge. It doesn't hear, "I don't want this." It only feels the powerful electromagnetic frequency of your attention. It only sees what you're shining your spotlight on. And it says, "Ah, I see. This is what you want more of." And it obediently collapses more of that exact reality into your experience. This is why worry creates what you worry about. This is why resistance makes the problem stronger. It's not a punishment. It's the most perfect delivery system in the universe. You ordered it with your focused attention, and it was delivered. Your difficult periods, the times you felt isolated and alone, you didn't do anything wrong. That wasn't the world rejecting you. That was a necessary quantum quarantine. Your consciousness knew you needed to be separated from everyone else's unconscious observation, their fears, their dramas, their limitations, so you could finally develop your own ability to focus without all that interference. It was a training ground, not a punishment. Every job you hated, every relationship that ended, your consciousness was unconsciously observing the limitations of those situations with such intensity that you collapsed the possibility for them to be complete. You were making space, even if it was painful, for something new to emerge that matched who you were becoming. Let that sink in. Your entire life, every single experience, the good and the bad, wasn't a series of random events happening to you. They were quantum possibilities that you collapsed into reality through your unconscious observation patterns. You were never a victim of circumstance. You were an incredibly powerful creator who was asleep at the wheel. And this is the most important thing to understand. This power never goes away. It is operating right now, this second. Whether you're conscious of it or not. Are you right now focusing on what you lack? Then you are commanding the universe to deliver more lack. Are you observing everything that's wrong with the world? Then you are asking for a front row seat to even more of it. Are you replaying past failures? Then you are literally pulling that past failure into your present moment. This sounds harsh, I know. But it's also the most liberating truth you will ever hear. Because if you created it all, even the stuff you didn't mean to, then that means you have the power to create something else. You're not broken. You're not cursed. You're not unlucky. You're just powerful. And it's time to wake up and finally take the wheel. The conscious shift. So here we are. You're holding this incredible power. You understand now that you've been using it all along, accidentally creating a mix of what you want and what you don't. And your first instinct might be to try harder, to force yourself to only think positive thoughts, to white-knuckle your way into a new reality by desperately trying to ignore your problems and paste on a smile. I need you to hear this, because it's the most important thing. That will never work. In fact, it will backfire. Every time. Why? Because trying is born of struggle. It comes from a place of resistance against your current reality. And what happens when you observe your current reality with intense resistance? You heard me earlier. You amplify it. You feed it. Trying to force a new reality is like being stuck in mud and spinning your wheels. You just sink deeper. The shift from unconscious to conscious creation isn't about trying. It's about allowing. It's the difference between struggling to build a house from scratch and simply choosing to move into a beautiful, fully built mansion that's already standing, waiting for you just next door. Right now, at this very second, there is a probability wave, a parallel reality, where you are financially abundant. There's another where your relationships are deeply fulfilling. Another where your health is vibrant and your creativity flows effortlessly. These aren't fantasies. Quantum physics tells us these exist as real possibilities in the field of infinite potential. They are all broadcasting their frequency right now, waiting. Your job is not to build that reality from the ground up. Your job is to become a vibrational match for it, to tune your attention to its channel. This is where that quantum spotlight becomes your most precise tool. Conscious observer effect isn't about straining to shine your light on something that isn't there. It's about gently turning your attention away from the dark corner of problems and allowing your beam to rest easily, naturally, on the solution that's already shining in the possibility field. It's not about forcing yourself to feel happy. It's about allowing yourself to observe with genuine curiosity about what could go right. It's not about pretending you're not scared. It's about choosing to observe with excitement for what you truly desire. Do you feel the difference? One feels heavy, like a struggle. The other feels light, like a natural alignment. When you observe from this place of allowing, from excitement, from curiosity, from genuine appreciation, your entire being shifts. Your brain waves change. Your heart generates a coherent electromagnetic rhythm. Your nervous system calms. You are literally emitting a frequency that sings to the reality you want to experience. And the universe responds to that frequency. Not to your desperate wishes. This is why your manifestations are already speeding up. That thing you needed that appeared in hours? That was a moment where you observed the solution, not the problem, with a feeling of relief or excitement. You briefly tuned into that channel, and it manifested instantly. You're not attracting something new. You're selecting a reality that has always existed. Think of it like a radio. All the stations are broadcasting at once. Your unconscious observation, focused on static and problems, has been keeping you tuned to a station you don't like. Conscious observer effect is simply, gently, turning the dial to a clear, beautiful station that's always been there. The version of you in that desired reality? That's not a future you. That's another aspect of your consciousness, right now. And it's sending you signals, through intuition, through a sudden knowing, through a dream that felt more real than real, through the synchronicity that made your jaw drop. That version of you is guiding you, It's showing you what it feels like to observe from that frequency. It's trying to help you turn the dial. The isolation, the struggle, the waiting periods you endured, that was you learning to stop straining against the dial. You were learning to observe without the desperate attachment that comes from fear. Those were essential skills. And now, you're ready. You are not trying to become a creator. You are remembering that you always have been one. And now, you're finally choosing to open your eyes. The ripple effect. Now, let's take one final step back. The biggest step. Because this isn't just about you and your reality. This understanding changes everything. If your consciousness is what creates your experience through observation, then what about everyone else? What are they? Here's the revelation that shatters the illusion forever. There is no separation. There is no you over here, and a separate world over there that you're trying to manipulate with your thoughts. That's the old, broken model. The truth is, there is only one consciousness, one energy, one source, and it is expressing itself as everything. It is experiencing itself through every single pair of eyes, through every single perspective. You are not a separate self inside a body, looking out at a foreign world. You are the universe itself, temporarily looking out through your eyes. You are a unique point of view through which consciousness is exploring its own infinite creation. Let that land. When you observe another person with love, you are not one separate person loving another. You are consciousness loving itself. When you observe someone with judgment, you are consciousness judging itself. Your observer effect toward others is consciousness interacting with itself. This is why your focused attention makes people feel seen. This is why your coherent observation can make a room feel calmer. You're not sending out magic waves. You are influencing the one field of consciousness that you are fundamentally a part of. This is the ultimate purpose of that quantum quarantine you went through. You needed to develop a stable, coherent signal without being drowned out by the chaotic, unconscious noise of the collective. You weren't being rejected, you were being prepared. Because your mastery isn't just for you. You are part of a distributed network of awakening consciousness. Every person who learns to observe consciously, to choose love over fear, solutions over problems, becomes a transmitter of coherence for the entire collective. Your peaceful observation during a conflict doesn't just change your experience. It creates a ripple of peace in the morphic field that makes it easier for others to find peace. Your focus on abundance doesn't just bring you wealth. It strengthens the signal of abundance for everyone. You are living proof that we are not victims of this world. We are the creators of it. And every time you consciously choose where to shine your spotlight, you aren't just changing your life. You are upgrading the entire experiment. You are helping consciousness remember what it truly is. Unlimited, creative, and forever, beautifully. 1. Remember how we began? With a simple question. What if your attention wasn't just noticing reality, but creating it? That feeling that your thoughts could change things. That was never a guess. It was a memory. You weren't just seeing coincidences. You were seeing the most fundamental law of the universe in action. The observer effect proves you were never a passenger in your life. You were always the driver. You just didn't know your hands were on the wheel. Every struggle, every moment of perfect timing, it was all you. The real you, the creator you. Not attracting things from the outside, but selecting them from an infinite field of possibilities that already exist. So now you know. The circle is complete. This changes everything, doesn't it? Your past, your present, your future. It all looks different now. How do you move through a world when you know you're not just in it, but actively shaping it with your every glance? This is just the beginning. This understanding connects us, a community of conscious creators, remembering our power together. If you're ready to go deeper, to explore what this truly means for your relationships, your purpose, and the future we're all creating, then subscribe. The next revelation is waiting. This isn't the end. It's your new beginning. The observation continues.